Hi everyone, I'm Aashi.
And I'm Cameron, and welcome back to Blitz Outdoors. So good to be back, right?
Yeah, it genuinely
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And we're filming in a different location today.
Mm-hmm,
And
which
it's a
is
little,
making
we're a
me
little
really
out of
nervous.
our element. Like, if you can't tell, we're like looking around, like, because there's people walking all over the place and just looking at us. And it's just the two of us today.
Yeah, really put on the spot.
Do you care about all the people that's walking past right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
You care a lot?
Yeah, personally I do because I'm just like really socially anxious. Plus, I know a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't noticed, like that girl, she was my
Yeah.
classmate. I know a lot of people because I've been here. Although I've been here for like 2 terms, I've been part of like a lot of volunteering things and clubs, and I'm pretty like extroverted, so I like talk to a lot of people.
But why can't you just let it go and just be nonchalant about
Oh
it?
my god,
No.
because it's not me. For me, being real is the opposite of like being nonchalant. I sort of associate nonchalance with like a persona or like a like an appearance that people put out for other people. If you're really real to yourself and you're just like who you are and how you are, then I feel like your emotions and your feelings and your behavior is pretty authentic and out there. So whatever you're feeling is shown to other people. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah.
Rather than trying to impress other people, if we talk in terms of like relationships, if you're trying to like impress others by being like, oh no, I'm so chill, I don't give a damn about anything.
So you think that being that way is impressive?
No, I personally think it's not, but I do think a lot of people do think it's. What do you think?
I think it depends. I mean, I can get why some people think that it's impressive or attractive, but personally, I don't find it attractive at all. I don't think I'm a nonchalant person. I think I care a lot if I am really into that particular person or that particular thing. And I think it's just how I was brought up in a way. My parents always told me to put 100% in whatever I do, and I think that kind of was in my personality throughout the years. And I don't do things like 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 I don't care, like being cold is
Do it
like
again,
cool.
do it again, do it again.
So I don't care. And being cold is cool. Like I get it. Like some people feel like being nonchalant is like a way of protecting themselves. And I get it because I was there once. By not talking about a lot of things, you protect yourself from a lot of things in general.
Right.
And like there's this sort of wall that you put up that people just can't seem to climb over, even if they wanted to.
That's
And it
deep.
kind of gives you like a lot of power. Yeah. It gives you a lot of power to be able to do that and be like, oh yeah, I'm in my zone and no one can come in and no one can really see through like what or who I really am as a person. And so yeah, I guess as a person that came from both sides, I'd say, we all have our reasons to do it. But I don't think it's attractive now. Maybe like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I might think it's attractive, but now no. Yeah. I'm a lover boy. Are you?
Okay.
Are you a lover girl?
I'm a very I would say I don't like the term lover girl. I like heartless romantic. It's probably because I read so much. Like I read a lot of novels, and then I'm super into like I want someone to come up to me with like a jukebox outside of my window. Like those old like 80s, 90s romance
Yeah.
shows, movies, whatever. Stuff like that. So I would say I'm very old school. But yeah, lover, girl, whatever.
But why do you think like that's the case like nowadays? Because so many people say, oh, I don't want nonchalant guys. Like I feel like a lot of my female friends, they tell me this, like all the
Really?
guys, yeah, they tell me like, all the guys, they just like to be nonchalant, they just like to not care. And like sometimes they are really warm and sometimes they're really cold. It's like you never know what you're gonna get
Oh, yeah.
today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so why do you think that happens?
Obviously like technology, right? But if we go more into like the specifics of like texting and stuff, I feel like texting has been around for so long now, like it's been so many years. I would say like it's evolved into a sense of not only like communication but also like your ego or your reputation. So like for people who respond immediately to texts, they're considered like desperate or they
Yeah,
just
yeah,
have
that's
too
a
much.
big word, right?
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
common nowadays as well.
Right?
Being
Like
desperate.
having too much time on your hands and like why are you always available? Whereas people who text or reply to texts like days later or like hours later, they're considered much like more easygoing, more chill. They're busy, which is considered apparently it's considered like good in life. And I feel like that personality of being busy and having other things in life rather than just being focused upon a person is maybe what people find attractive.
To think that we evolved from like pigeons and mail, like taking days, and
Yeah.
right now we are able to just text someone that we want to text in seconds, and we're still at the same place as we were before. Like people are just taking
No.
so long to reply. So or like what's the most annoying thing?
Yeah.
Which I do as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna admit I do that as well. It's
Yeah.
like when someone texts me and I don't feel like replying, I'll see it in the notifications and I'll just put my phone down.
Then why do we have notifications?
No,
Like,
that's the thing.
what?
That's the thing. I think it doesn't come. It might seem contradictory, right?
Yeah.
I say I'm not nonchalant, but in a way, it's like for me, it's like I wasn't ready to reply back. But I feel like a lot of people just don't want to, even though they like fancy this person. Okay, we're just talking about relationships, okay?
Right. Yeah.
If let's say a girl texts a guy and then clearly the guy likes her, the girl likes him, but the guy just chooses not to reply her, just to play hard to get.
Oh yeah. Hard to
right?
get, yeah.
Not to sound desperate or like,
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
And I don't think that's nice at all, but I feel like I do it sometimes in a way, but in a different context, you get what I mean?
Yeah, like I agree with what you're saying. There's like I think there's a difference between like actually being busy. Like right now I'm here, right? I'm obviously not responding to my texts, even if I see the notifications and stuff. But if I'm like free and I'm on my phone and I see somebody's text and if again taking it from like a relationship angle, if like I see their text and then I'm like, okay, I'm interested in this person. But then you purposefully take like 10 minutes to reply, 15 minutes to reply. I do that. I get that as well. I'm like, okay, maybe I should take like an hour to seem like a little busy. But that's like max I do. And I'm not saying that it's like a good thing or a bad thing. Again, it's just like completely subjective. But it's just like, why do we need to do that? That's something that I really wanted
why
to
do you
talk
need to
about.
do that?
Exactly. I don't know. Like why do we as a society, I feel like it's very normalized now to not be on the phone at the exact same time as another person texts you. Like I'm literally just on my phone. What's so wrong with just responding? That's basically what I wanted to talk about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why? So let me ask you, right?
Okay.
Like why? Why do you do
Right.
that?
Well, I think it's because I personally do it out of like peer pressure, because it's considered like
Peer pressure.
yeah, literally.
Okay.
Because like my friends, my roommates, like whenever I tell them about anything, they're like, "Oh no, why are you immediately replying even if you got a text back?" Like wait. But otherwise, if it were up to me, I'm like, I would immediately just be like, "What's up? What are you doing?" Yeah.
But you still do it, right?
I guess so, because it depends. If I'm in a relationship, like when I was in one, I feel like because when you finally get to that comfort level with
Yeah.
the person, that you're just like, okay, you know that they're there for you. You start replying immediately and then you have like a proper conversation. But I feel like that's the whole point of texting. It's not just to be like respond whenever you want, but it's also like you can have conversations when you're there. And I feel like people don't really have conversations anymore.
If everyone knows what's the problem,
Mm-hmm.
why are we all submitting to the problem? That's the thing, you know.
Exactly.
That's the
What
thing.
is wrong
And I think
with
that's why you wanted to talk about this as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, I may have an explanation for that, which I said, right. You know, on a deeper level, people just want to put up the wall. But
Yeah.
what I don't get at the same time is also what is so hard to just reply, especially those people that say it's like, oh, I don't want to seem desperate. I don't want to seem like
Yeah.
I got nothing better to do. I'm obsessed with this girl. Like all my guy friends say the same thing.
It's the thing with guys. I swear to God.
I swear,
I feel like it's more
I
common
apologize
with men.
for males, but I swear,
You
girls do it sometimes.
You know,
I
girls
swear.
do it as well.
It's
Girls
just
do
I
it
feel
as
like males, we do it more often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I feel like it's in that whole like masculinity sort of aura.
Maybe.
Where it's like, yeah, it's like, I'm a man.
But I think we should ask what the others think, right?
Yeah.
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 So let's go.
Yeah. What do you think about like the trend of being nonchalant?
I think it's stupid. I think you got to be chalant. You know, express your emotions. If you're happy, you're happy. If you're sad, you're sad. You know, just be chalant, man.
Honestly, nonchalant can be good in terms of like panicking over things. Nonchalant people are very chill. I feel like there's a whole spectrum of
Yeah,
nonchalant
yeah.
people. Yeah. I feel like nonchalant is good like stress wise, but then very extreme could be like not caring about certain things. I'm a very big overreactor, so I
Yeah.
think I'm a very chalant person.
So it's good that if you're on the giving end, but you're not on the receiving end of things.
Yeah.
I think it's like a really fun way for people to normalize miscommunication.
I think there's a nonchalant epidemic, especially in men. But I think that women are starting to like kind of grasp that concept a little bit more and like kind of give the same energy back, which like honestly power to you. But yeah, I think that especially like in the age of social media, everyone's kind of just like, wow, like it's so cool to just not care, not give a fuck, which is just kind of sad because obviously like human interaction has been really limited by social media. And so when people are more nonchalant in person, it's like it kind of continues the degradation of the, I don't know, human interaction, like genuine human interaction.
It just feels like we're slowly not having the ability anymore to like interact in real life. And that's worrying
Yes.
sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I get that because sometimes people say that I look nonchalant as well. But in fact, I think I care a lot about a lot of things. It's just maybe I don't think that it's productive to show it in a way like for people to understand. I don't know about you, but at least for me, I tend to at least just keep it to myself. If there isn't a way for people to help me, I won't see a need to like tell people like, oh, I'm struggling with this and then and that. And people say like, oh, you look so aloof like most of the time. Like you just go into class and you just don't talk and you just like. But I'm just like, there's nothing to talk about. Like it's just me, you know. So I get what you're trying to say, but
No, I completely relate to that as well.
but at the same time, I don't know about you again, but I feel so misunderstood at the same time because I feel like I love to meet a lot of people, like new people as well. And I think I don't get that chance often because I have a lot of anxiety in terms of like meeting new people. And so I think that sort of impression that people have on me sort of destroys like the chance that I have to even meet someone new. And I'm not just talking about like relationships, just friendships in general. People just look at this guy and it's like, he doesn't seem like he's interested, right? Like, do you get the same thing?
Yes, I've been told that I come off very cold and very unapproachable, which is, I think can be true. And then also like, I completely agree with like what you're saying. It completely like makes it so much harder for other people to approach you. But at the same time, it's like, you can't really change that about yourself unless you're gonna go out and talk to people and stuff. Especially, but like anxiety is so hard, especially social anxiety. Like I even struggle with like ordering my own food. Like it's just,
Yeah.
it's so bad. And then also I feel like that's like a result of how much social media has impacted us
Yes,
as people.
exactly. Yeah.
I feel like it sounds pretty cool. It sounds
Really?
pretty chill. For me personally, I think it's something I kind of aspire to be. That sounds kind of bad, but I feel like it doesn't matter. I feel like nonchalance is sometimes like it could be a bit too much, like people try too hard. But I feel like some people naturally have it. I've met a lot of cool people that naturally have that like personality and that aura. Yeah, they have so much aura, guys. No, they have that aura around them that's just like you're there, and you can just tell that like everything that you say or everything that you do with them is like they appreciate that, and it's so chill with them. Like you can be so chill in that sense. I feel like that's what nonchalance is. Like not so much like not caring, you know, like how it's portrayed on TikTok and trying to like style yourself into thinking that way. It's more so like just going with the flow and letting things be. And if change happens, then embracing change rather than trying to like challenge it or, you know, like prevent it from happening. I feel like that's truly what nonchalance is.
So would you say like you're a nonchalant person?
I would say for the most part, no. I feel like I'm too extroverted and my personality is too outgoing and a little more on the insane side for me to be nonchalant in that sense. I feel like if I'm maybe by myself when I'm at home, I'm calm, but I still wouldn't be nonchalant. I feel like for me personally, I tend to overthink. And so my mind is racing all the time. I can't find myself like in a nonchalant way. I've never thought myself to be one of those type of people. But in saying that, like, I don't think that's a bad thing either. In general, I would assume it's not as bad. Like it could be a very good thing, you know, not overly stressing yourself out or overly trying to focus or give your attention to one thing.
Being less intense and more carefree. Yeah.
And I feel like that could definitely aid in a lot of like mental health and mental well-being in that sense.
Yeah.
You're not you're not more at risk of like developing those conditions and that sort of stuff. I feel like in that sense, nonchalance is a good thing. But in other ways, like when you're too nonchalant, right? Like how a lot of like influencers on TikTok are trying like way too hard. And not only that, like when I've met some people that are like way too nonchalant about all the things they do in the sense that they don't even want to put the effort in the first place. I feel like there's definitely that side of the coin as well that needs to be expressed. Like being too nonchalant in the sense that you don't care at all is a major problem, because I feel like and making it like your whole personality and with everything that you do and not, you know, giving to whatever's about everything that you do can definitely be a problem. So I feel like there's definitely some people that I've met that are like that in the sense that they don't really prioritize or pay attention to anything in general. And like there's like when we talk to them, it's always just like, oh, I can just, you know, do that later. I don't really care, la da da. I feel like that's definitely a problem in that sense. But generally speaking, I feel like nonchalance is fine. Like there's a balance. Obviously, there's a balance to everything. So there's a balance to nonchalance.
I think guys try to be, but girls are more naturally nonchalant.
Oh, that's interesting. Why would you say so?
Because I have friends who try to act nonchalant. Like I have hooper friends, and they try to act so cool when they play ball. But, you know, just celebrate, man. If you score, just celebrate. But I feel like girls are more naturally nonchalant. Like they're just chilling out.
Oh. Imagine you have a guy you like. How would you act?
How would I act?
Like on text, in person, like how are you gonna act chill? Or are you gonna, that's the real, like we're testing it.
Like not,
Really?
I think it's stupid. Like
I love that.
I really, that's okay, that's like my strong opinion. Like people should take a more nonchalant attitude to being nonchalant. Like just don't deep it. I think being honest about anything is scary, which I feel like that's what nonchalant is. It's like, oh, pretend you don't care. Like, but you do care. Like you're actually caring more by pretending not to care. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
And like, if I were talking to someone, I would just be open, because also it's like, obviously it depends where you want to go with that thing with that person, but also like, if you're not being honest, how can they react to you honestly either. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think chalant is the way. Chalant, like,
Can
yeah,
love
it's not
it.
embarrassing. Everything's embarrassing. Sky Ferreira, like, you know, like it's okay. It's okay. Everyone is like, everyone cares deep down in their heart, and
Yeah.
and you know, and not caring is also an emotion. So like, it's fine.
Being with nonchalant people match their energy. I tend to try and match people's energy whenever
really?
like talking
So you
to
really
them.
go down to like being nonchalant as well?
Yeah.
How do
I
you do that? Like
I
that's
don't know. Like fake it till you make it. I guess.
so you really just force yourself to not say reply to this person. Like if he chooses to reply me 5 hours later, I'm gonna do the same. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a bit petty. But I do that with like matching like their schedule. If they don't reply for like a while, like give them the same amount. Like just reciprocate energy.
The thing about like being socialized in a way to be nonchalant, I feel like it's also to do with like the attachment styles. Like, have you heard about like all the avoidant attachment?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh my god, crazy. And you know, and you know what? Like, it's honestly like crazy to reflect on as well, because almost like for me personally, and I feel like maybe you'd relate to this, is like being maybe like fearfully avoidant because it's like a defense mechanism, because you don't want to be hurt or you don't want to be vulnerable to people. You don't want to let someone else like, you know, get in, I guess.
I used to be avoidant.
Oh, are
I
you
took a
not
test.
anymore?
I took a test. And it says that I'm secure right now. But I used to be like super avoidant. Yeah.
Wait, how did you like fix that?
I don't know. I don't know.
How do you heal
I
yourself?
honestly don't know. I think I just grounded myself in a way like, okay, I can't control the things that I can't control. And I think that contributed to it. But if you ask me, do I have everything under control? No. No. I struggle with it every day. Funny how yesterday I was waking up for class and I thought about my ex. And we just ended like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wait, no,
Yeah.
it's breakup season.
Yeah.
It's breakup season.
We just ended 3 weeks ago and I just
like,
and you think that like something happened. No, nothing happened. We ended things on a good note, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna be affected. I was affected for the first few days. I cried a whole lot, but after a while I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be fine. And yesterday I wind up thinking about her. So
which is completely normal.
yeah.
I feel like so many times people are like, oh, why haven't you moved on? Or this happened and you should just like let it go. Like, this is life. And you're not allowed to feel specific ways about it. I think that nonchalant epidemic, everyone is so unforgiving of people who feel some type of way about a breakup. It's like,
Yeah.
this is a pivotal moment in your life. This is something that shapes you, like your brain. Like, you're so young, your frontal lobe is still developing. This shapes you as a person. And I feel like we don't, as a society and in our generation, we don't have enough, maybe like, what would you say, like forgiveness and like,
We're not that kind to ourselves. I
yeah,
feel.
we're so mean.
Yeah. But it's also times like this that I wish I was a bit more nonchalant. So I wouldn't be so sad and I wouldn't care so much. It's always the breakups, right? The last breakup I had, the longest one that I took to get over someone was 3 years. 3 years. 3 years
Was
of
that first love?
yeah. And that 3 years ruined me. Like, I did so much shit, and it's like, now looking back, I wish I was nonchalant. And I wish there was a balance, but no. You're either in or you're out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's such an unhealthy way to cope as well. Like, the fact that you can feel so many emotions, I feel like is such a beautiful thing as well. Like, it's so hard, especially for men, I think, to be able to acknowledge and express their emotions. And I think it's such a beautiful thing that you can acknowledge that, like, yes, I'm sad about this. Yes, I cared. Yes, like, this mattered to me. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, we're all humans. Like, everyone makes mistakes. And, like, we're here to learn, you know? And I feel like it's so like detrimental to your well-being and to your growth as a person if you don't let yourself feel and be sad about it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
So, like,
don't just skip the
reflecting.
hard times, right?
Yeah,
Be
like,
chalant about
can't.
it. Be chalant for everything. Like, it's
Yes.
life. You know.
You always have to care. Caring is like the most attractive thing a person can do and can be. Also, like you're inhibiting your own growth if you don't want to feel anything.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you really need to let it happen, because what is meant to be will be.
Yeah.
And if whatever is meant to be will be, like the universe is going to give whatever is meant to be for you back to you.
I mean, I feel like I counterbalance them because me overthinking and my attention span being literally non-existent and my mind always racing and me saying, like me yapping so much counterbalances their like carefree sort of persona. So I feel like in that sense, like we're kind of like yin and yang. Like we actually kind of vibe well because they're like a good listener in that sense. I'm not assuming that all nonchalant people are good listeners, but I'm saying in my personal experiences, these people that I talk to that are nonchalant are very good listeners and they can take a lot in. Whereas I can talk a lot and I can put out a lot. So I feel like in that sense, I don't really deal with them. I kind of like interact with them more. Like there's that balance that I find. I find it really, really nice. Like this nice little like equilibrium that it comes to, because I'm like up here, they're like down there, so we kind of like match each other like in the middle kind of. So I feel like I don't really like have to deal with it in that sense. I would rather just like say I interact with that, and I like interacting with that. Like it's kind of cool seeing that other side where it's like not as like energetic or bouncy as me sometimes.
After like doing the interviews, like what did you think? Like what's your response? Did it change your views, or like did you get to know something new about people?
No, I think what everyone said was pretty much what everyone feels like in general, like and I think there's a general consensus that, you know, men are perceived as nonchalant. Like I said at the start, you know, I understand why people think that way, but you can't just generalize everyone.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Not
Fair.
all men are like this.
Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah.
And yeah, what about you?
This was sort of like healing. I feel
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
right? Was it for you?
Yeah.
For me, it was a little more reassuring because I thought that there were like majority of people were very nonchalant, but turns out that majority of people are not really nonchalant. Like not majority, but like at least whoever we interviewed, they all were just like, no.
It's
I
not as
don't-
bad as what social media portrays.
Oh yeah. It's such an illusion. Like social media, this literally just goes to show how things are very different online as well as offline. Like there's people are very real, they're very authentic, and they do display emotions, I feel like differently in person and online. And I feel like it was really nice to hear that.
Yeah, that was really nice. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
I think we had a good time.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you in the next one.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
My name is Addy.
Oh, Manor.
My name's Maddie.
My name is Tara.
My name's Alan.